universe with the designer, you just need to log on with the designer and you need to follow 8 steps. That 8 steps I explained. Step 1, defining parameters. Okay, anyway, I'm not moving the screen. Give me 2 minutes. I'm just recapping what I discussed yesterday. Then we'll move to the screen sharing, okay? And defining parameters. Number 2, insert tables. Number 3, make the joins. Number 4, resolve loops. Number 5, set up classes and objects. Number 6, set up hierarchies. Number 7, testing. Number 8, distribution. What we did in the defining parameters. Now I just want to explain what we did in the defining parameters. I'll show you the simple, very simple steps for creating that particular, what you call as universe. Okay, now I'm just connecting with my R3 system. In R3, there's a tool called as the universe designer, but our ultimate goal is you need to create a WebI report on top of eFashion data warehouse. And I hope you know what columns you required in the WebI report. In WebI, we required article label, year, quantity sold, and amount sold. Now our ultimate goal is we need to create an WebI report with the 4 columns on top of eFashion universe. Okay, but I told you in a BO, you cannot create an WebI report on top of direct eFashion data warehouse. If you want to create an WebI report, the mandatory in the BO is you need to create an universe. In the universe, you need to maintain these 4 columns. Later, you need to take that universe as a source for the WebI report. That time, WebI report will improve the performance. We'll see. I'm just connecting with my system, my universe designer. Once you connected with the universe designer, for creating universe, you need to follow 8 steps. I'm just following 8 steps. Step number 1, if you want to create a new universe, go to File, Common New. There you need to give the name of the universe. Yes, I give the name of the universe. Very next step, you need to select a connection between your universe and the data warehouse. If there is an existing connection, please select from the drop down. If there is no existing connection, please click on New, click on Next, give the name of the connection. I'm just creating a connection for universe 2. That's why I'm giving a connection name as universe 2. That connection I'm creating for the dev data source. That's why I give a dev data source. And I told you my eFashion data warehouse is executing on ODBC. The reason is my eFashion data warehouse is executing on Microsoft Access. If the data warehouse is executing on Oracle, please select Oracle. If it is an Access, please select ODBC. Click on Next. Then you need to select that particular data warehouse name in the drop down. I'm just selecting drop down here. And later you need to type your username and password for data warehouse. I'm just typing username and password for data warehouse. Then test connection. Yes, if it is responding, click on Next, click on Next, click on Finish. I just finished. Then click on OK. You've done your defining parameters. That means in the defining parameters, what you need to do is you just need to give the name of the universe, as well as you need to define a connection between your universe and the data warehouse. Once you have done, very next step is insert tables. Defining parameters done. Name of the universe and connection you defined. Very next step is insert a tables. If you want to insert a tables, when you see the universe, you have a 2 panes. This big pane you call as a structure pane. This we call as a classes and objects pane. Tables always you need to import in the structure pane. You just need to right click in the structure pane, click on tables. Once you click on tables, see where the article label is there. My article label is there in the article lookup table. Just select article lookup, click on insert, and where you have the calendar year lookup. See, my calendar year lookup is there in the year is there in the calendar year lookup. Oh, for requirement, as per the requirement, we need a columns, colors, label, year. Yes, I got a label and year now. And the next column is you need a quantity sold and amount sold. Check where the quantity sold and amount sold is there. In the soft fact, you have amount sold and quantity sold. Oh, you need this table also for our report. Just import the table. Yes, you imported 3 tables. Done. These 3 tables you imported. Till now what we did is define parameters and required tables you inserted from data warehouse to universe. Now our report will take these 3 tables as a source, and you eliminated unnecessary tables. This time your report will improve the performance. Okay. Anyway, imported only 3 tables. Now you gave only 3 tables as a source for your report. Good. Once you inserted the tables. Very next step is you need to make a joins between these 3 tables. But I'm lazy. I'm stupid. I don't know how to create a joins. If there is a chance to create automated joins, that will simplify my life. How you simplify your life, John sir? John sir, can you hear me?
Unmuted.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how you simplify your life. How you create a join? How you create joins automatically?
You can go to file parameters, strategy. You can select.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
What strategy I need to select in the parameter? Sir, what strategy you want me to select? Yes, I'll explain you.
Muted.
Okay, good. If you want to create a joins with automatically between the 3 tables without without creating joins manually, if you want to automate the creating join process, creation of join process, if you want to create joins automatically, first you need to give a instruction for the system to create a joins. If you give an instruction, based on your instruction, the system, the designer will create a joins for us. First you need to give the instructions. For example, if you want to create a joins between 2 tables based on matching columns, only matching columns, that time you need to follow one strategy. If you want to create a joins between tables based on matching columns and based on primary and foreign key, and that means now you are giving 2 instructions for the designer to create joins between the tables if the tables have a matching columns and primary foreign keys. That time what you need to do is you just need to go to file, parameters. In the parameters there is a strategies. You are going to automate the join process. That time please don't put edit manually, none as a join strategy. If you put start matching column names, smart matching column names. Smart matching column names means you are just giving an instruction for the designer, please create a joins between 2 tables if there is a matching columns as well as primary and foreign keys. That means now the designer will create a joins between 2 tables if the 2 tables have same column names and as well as primary and foreign keys. One table must have a primary key and foreign key, otherwise it won't create any join. This time you define the strategy as smart matching column names. Then if you want to automate your join process, just go to tools, there you have auto detect, there you have a detect joins. Just click on detect joins, click on insert, it will create a joins between your tables. You need not to use your brain. Still, if you want to check whether you created joins between primary or foreign key, now it created the joins between matching columns. When you see here, the system is created between matching column between article lookup and soft fact, as well as soft fact and the calendar year lookup? Yes, I want to set a cardinality. So when I set a cardinality, that time I can come to know, yes, whether which table have a primary and which table have a foreign key. I just want to know which table have a primary key and which table have a foreign key. That time what you need to do is just go to tools, automated detection. Detect what? Cardinalities. You just need to detect cardinalities. It will define a cardinalities. That is a way you can automate even your join creation process. Yes, till now what you did is defining parameters, insert tables and make the joins. Why you need to create a joins? I told you, if the report is taking data from more than one table, if you are taking data from more than one table, the mandatory is you need to create joins between tables. Then how you create a joins? I told you, if you want to create a joins between two tables, you need a matching columns as well as primary and foreign key. If you want, you can create join with the manual, or you can automate your join creation process. How you automate your join process? You need to go to file, parameters, strategy, join process. There in the drop down, you need to select smart matching column names. Click on OK. Then go to tools, auto detect joins. It will identify the joins between tables. Just click on insert, there your job ends. There's a way you can make a joins. Yes, we talked about make a joins. Then later, the fourth step is resolving loops. Resolving loops. I hope you know how to resolve a loop. Now I don't have any loop. If you have any loop, you need to go to tools, automated detections. There you have a detect loops. If you have any loop, it will identify the loop. But I don't have any loop here. Then I'll take one situation. I'll explain you where you will get a loop. Sometimes I have a requirement to create a report. I'll explain you what report I want. Let me take my report requirement. My customer is give to create this kind of report. My customer is asking to create a report with the year, article label, quantity sold, and as well as promotion cost. Yes, I need to create this report on eFashion data warehouse. Yes, if customer requested to create this report with the 4 columns, then very next step is you need to have a KT from ETL team, ask ETL team where this columns is there in the data warehouse. Then ETL team explain you the table names which contains these columns. Assume I am a ETL developer. I am explaining you the article label is there in article lookup, year is there in calendar year lookup, quantity sold is there in the soft fact, promotion cost is there in the promotion fact table. I told you these 4 columns will be there in the 4 tables. Table 1 is called as article lookup, table 2 is called as a calendar year lookup, table 3 is called as the soft fact, and table 4 is called as the promotion fact. That means now satisfying your report, you just need to create a one universe, and you need to import how many tables now? You need to import 4 tables now. The reason is these 4 columns you have in 4 different tables. That is the case. What you need to do is in the universe, you just need to right click in the structure pane, go to tables, there you need to select your required tables, article lookup, and year you have in the calendar year lookup, so you need to import calendar year lookup. Yes, I imported calendar year lookup. My ETL team is explained where the columns is there. They explained soft fact, you have a quantity sold. When you see here you have a quantity sold. Oh, for requirement you need to import a soft fact, and I have other requirement for promotion cost. that promotion cost will be there in the promotion fact table. Promotion fact table. You just need to import product promotion fact. Just click on insert. Yes, well and good, you have done. Yes, now see, when you see these tables, article label is there in article lookup, year is there in calendar year lookup, quantity sold is there in soft fact, promotion cost is there in a promotion fact table. Oh, as per our requirement, you needed that 4 columns. Unfortunately, that 4 columns will be there in 4 different tables. If you have a columns in different tables, but your report need all 4 columns, that time what you need to do is, you need to create a joint path between these 4 tables. If you create a joint path between 4 tables, you just need to go to File, Parameters, Strategy. You just need to take what? Smart Matching Column Names. Yes, you take a Smart Matching Column Names. Tools, Automated Detection, Detect Loop, not detect loops. First you need to make what? Detect joins. Once you detect joins, it will identify the tables. Once you click on insert, it will create a joins between the tables. Once you define the tables, once you define the joins between the tables, once you define the joins between tables, you define the joins between these tables. Once you define the joins, you know, sometimes it will give a wrong joins. When you see here, I just want to remove the joins. I'll show you how to create joins with the automated method, manual method. For example, you have 4 tables. As per our requirement, we need a report with article label, year, quantity sold, promotion cost. Article label is there in article lookup, and quantity sold is there in the soft fact, and year is there in calendar year lookup, and promotion cost is there in the product promotion fact. This is a case. What you need to do is, you just need to create a joins between this table and this table. Yes, I created the joins between this table and this table with the common matching column. And later, you want a year. In the soft fact and calendar year lookup, you have a week ID. You created the joins between this table and this table. Yes, I'm just creating this table and this table. Yes, you have done. Very next table, you need a product promotion fact. You created product promotion fact and fact table. And as well as, if you want article label wise promotion cost, you just need to make a join between article lookup and product promotion fact. Now I created the joins between these 4 tables. Unfortunately, it made a loop. Once you created the joins, very next step is, you need to go to Tools, Automated Detection, Detect Cardinalities. When you detect cardinalities, it will set a cardinality between the tables. Then you need to go to Tools, Automated Detection. Then you need to click on Detect Loops. It will identify the loop. It will enable the loop where you have the loop. When you see these 4 tables, you have a continuous path between these 4 tables. If you have a continuous path between 4 tables, you just need to resolve that loop. Why you need to resolve a loop? As per the reference and integrity, as per the database rule, if you have 3 tables, the joins must be less than 3. If you have 4 tables, the joins must be less than 4. But here you have 4 tables, you created 4 joins, that's why it form a continuous path. That is the case, the database will throw an error. If you want to fire any query on the database, you need to follow database referential integrity rules. That is derived by ANSI 92 institution. ANSI 92 is the institution that derived some rules for the database technologies. That rules were: rule number 1, if you want to make a join between 2 tables must have a matching columns. Rule number 2, table, any one table in the two tables must have a primary key, other table must have a foreign key. And rule number 3, if you are creating a joins, if you have a 4 tables in the universe, the joins must be less than 4, not equal to 4 or not greater than 4. That must be less than 4. But unfortunately, for satisfying our requirement, I created 4 joins. That is my requirement. But unfortunately, to make a join, it make a loop. Now, you need to satisfy your requirement as well as you need to resolve a loop. If you remove one join, that time you can resolve a loop. But that time you cannot satisfy a requirement if you want article label, promotion cost and calendar year. So that is the case, you are violating your second requirement. That time no use. So now I need to satisfy the requirement as well as I need to resolve the loops. That time you need to go to tools, automated detect loop. Then universe designer suggests us to resolve a loop by using any one technique. It will give a technique for us. Now my system gave a technique called as the loop 1 by 1. This loop is not converted by any context. Then you just need to click on candidate context. It will make a context for each fact and just add a fact. Click on OK. Then what the system will do, simply when you run a query on these tables, first it will execute one query for article lookup, soft fact and calendar year. When you see your article lookup, soft fact and calendar year is enabled, this will treat this as a one part. And when you execute a report with the promotion cost, article lookup, calendar year, it will take data from other path. So that means at a time the system cannot take all 4 columns from 4 tables. When you resolve a loop with the context, this time you need to make 2 queries for the report. Query 1 is for taking data article label wise, quantity sold and year. Query 2 is you need to take data for article label, promotion cost, calendar year. Later what we will do in the report, once you made 2 queries in the report, later in the report we will make a merging on the common dimension called as article ID. The reason is when you see the query 1 you have article ID, quantity sold and year. Query 2 you have article ID, promotion cost and year. So both queries have a article ID is a common. We will make merging on article ID. Later we can form a report with the article label, quantity sold, year, promotion cost. It's mandatory. If the designer have a 2 fact tables, if you want to take a data for one report and 2 fact tables, you cannot take with one query. You just need to make 2 queries, 2 separate queries for 2 separate fact tables. That is mandatory. One fact table with the joins which are joined with the fact table. For example, promotion cost and article lookup and calendar year. That means promotion fact is joined with the article lookup and calendar year lookup. The 2 joins you need to make one context. And soft fact is joined with the calendar year lookup and article lookup. You need to make another context. Later you need to write a one query for context 1, second query for second context. Later you need to merge both the results in the report. That is mandatory. Okay, this is a way you can resolve the loop. You need not to use your brain. Once you created your joins, once you detect your cardinality, just go to tools and detect loops. The universe designer suggests us steps to resolve the loops. If suggested the context, please take a context 1, add, take a context 2, add. That will resolve the loops. Yes, 4th step done. And 5th step. 5th step, creating classes and objects. Why you need to create a classes and objects? The reason is, in my article lookup, when you see I have article underscore label, but my customer is asking to display article underscore label as model name. That means you need to rename article underscore label as model name. You just need to rename that article underscore label as model name. How you rename that article underscore label as a model name? You cannot rename in the table. That time what you need to do is, you just need to convert this table as a class and whatever the columns there in the table as objects. Now I just dragged and drop article lookup from structure pane to classes and objects pane. It created the class name with the table name, object names, object article ID object is created with the article underscore ID. That means once you drag and drop your table from right side pane to left side pane, it will make a objects with the column names, class with the table name. Nothing is there. Table is logical grouping of the columns. Class is logical grouping of the object. Object is a replica of the column name. This time you can double click on article label. You can rename the article label according to the requirement. My requirement is I want to show this as a model name. You just need to type model model name name model name. But you rename the article label as a model name, still the model name object is taking data from article label from article lookup. It is from article lookup. But customer will see this name as model name, but the model name is connecting with the article label is there in the article lookup. Article model name will take data from article label there in the article lookup. So then click on apply. Click on OK. That means what we did is here, we just applied the business naming conventions. If you want to rename a column name, you cannot rename a column name in the table. That's why you need to convert that column as an object. In the object you can rename. Otherwise you need not to use. You have a quantity underscore sold, but customer is asking to display as a quantity sold. You just need to remove underscore. You cannot remove underscore in the table. The reason is the table is created in the backend, that created by someone. You have a rights only to reuse the table but not modify the table. That's the case. What you need to do is just take a soft fact and just drag and drop the soft fact. There you have a columns. Go to quantity and you can rename according to your requirement. But in the report you are dragging and dropping with the name, this name. But this object is taking indirectly data from where? Soft fact.quantity sold. That means if you want to rename a column with the according to the end user requirement, you need to convert that as a objects. That is mandatory. That is mandatory, you need to create. Okay, that you have done. That you have done. Now, yes, you make the classes and objects. Very next step. Set up hierarchies. When you see now how many classes you have in the universe, I have 2 classes. Class number 1 is article lookup. Class number 2 is soft fact. I have 2 classes. What the system will do, you know, when you go to tools, there you have a hierarchies. System will create 2 default hierarchies. 2 default hierarchies. By default, when you based on your number of classes, the designer will create a number of hierarchies that we call as the default hierarchies. Why you need hierarchies? I will explain you. Hierarchies is basically, as per our requirement, you are just creating a report, WebI report. If you want to create an WebI report in BO, there is a tool called as the info view. I am just connecting with the info view to create a report on top of that universe. whatever the universe we built, now we need to take that universe as a source to create and report, to create a web report. Yes, go to info view, document list. If you want to create an web report, you need to go to new web intelligence document. When you click on new web document, it will display the available universes. Okay, let me take eFashion universe. I'm just taking eFashion universe as a source. Anyway, this eFashion universe is talking with the eFashion data warehouse. Yes, I'm just creating a report with the year-wise sales revenue. Run the query. When you run a query, then when you enable an option called as a drill option, when you enable an option called as drill option, where you can see the drill option, let me change my preferences. Someone will change this as interactive. Then let me change this as a normal mode. I just changing my browser settings. Now I want to create a new web report. Document list, web intelligence document, and you need to click on eFashion. Once you click on eFashion, you need to go to this side. Then I'll explain you why you need a. Let me explain why you need a hierarchies. Now I just want to create a report with the. I just want to create a report with the year-wise sales revenue. Year sales revenue. Run the query. Then report you can see with the year-wise sales revenue. Year-wise sales revenue. There's a problem with the browser. I'm sorry, sir. There is a browser settings here. Problem is with the browser settings. Here I'll put 11. The same. Here 11. View results. I think there is no. Okay. Now anyway, view structure pane. I just want to change this also. I want to put 11. This also I want to put 11. And let me change this. View results. Okay. Now anyway my report I have a year-wise sales revenue and my customer is asking to enable a drill. Yes, just you need to enable a drill. If you enable a drill, if the customer clicks on 2004, report will go to quarters. 2004 quarters. If customer clicks on quarter, it will go to month. Why it will go to year to quarter, quarter to month? You know, the reason is when you create a report with the high level object, if the customer want to drill down from high level to low level or low level to high level, what you need to do is in the universe level, when you see your eFashion universe, let me import my eFashion universe. In the eFashion universe, when you see you created the report with the year object, that year object is there in the time period class. When you make a report with the year object in the info view, See, initially you created the report with the year object. Then user clicks on year 2004. What the report will do, it will check what is the next level there in the hierarchy. When you go to tools, hierarchies, when you see time period, the next level it will identify quarter, and the next level it will identify month, next level it will identify week, and very next level is holiday. That's why in the report level, when user clicks on 2004, it will go to quarters there in the 2004. Again, if you click on quarter 1, it will take you into the months there in the quarter 1. When you click on months, it will take you into the week. When you click on week, it will take you into the holidays there in that week. Yes, but you cannot go to down. You cannot down more. The reason is the year object is you are taking from time period. In the time period, you have only last level is holiday. That's why my customer can go to last level there in time period. If you change this order, for example, I'm just changing the order. I just move down, click on OK, click on save, file, export, file. I just want to export eFashion Universe, browse some folder there in my server. Yes, I just exported. Now when you observe what it will do, in InfoView, I just want to create a new report. If you want to create a new report, go to document list, new WebI report. I'm just taking that universe as a source. The universe which is there in the eFashion created by administrator. Let me take that universe. I just want to take that universe as a source. If you want to take that universe as a source, you just need to select that universe, then drag and drop here. I think this is not our universe. Sales revenue, run query. This time, just enable a drill. Now the customer, when they click on 2001, sorry, it's not our universe. Let me take other universe, sorry. New web intelligence document. Our universe is, I think this is our universe, eFashion. Sorry, not eFashion 2, right? So let me take that universe, exact universe what we created. New web intelligence document. You just need to take this universe, eFashion universe. I just take the eFashion universe. Now I'll show you how the hierarchies will work. And our sixth step number 6. You just need to you need to create a report with the year wise, sales revenue, run query. Report is running for year wise sales revenue. But my customer requested to define a drill. I just define the drill. When you define a drill, customer, when they click 2004, it will take you into the month. Why it's taking you into the month, The reason is you set up an hierarchies to navigate from year to where? Year to month, month to quarter. When you see here, again when you click in the month, it will take you into the quarter. When you click on quarter, it will take you into the week. The reason is you change the hierarchy year to month, month to quarter, quarter to week, week to holiday. So based on your customer requirement, sometimes in real time, they will ask us to create a report. Later they will ask us to give a chance to navigate from one level to other levels. Based on their requirement, you need to make these hierarchies. Based on your hierarchies, what you set up in the universe, they can navigate in the report. That we called as the setup hierarchies. Yes, I talked about setup hierarchies also. Till now we discussed about defining parameters. And the defining parameters, you gave a universe name and connection. Insert tables. In the insert tables, you imported the required tables into structure pane from data warehouse to universe designer. In third step, make a joins. You can make a joins by using automated method. Go to file, parameters, strategy. In the joins, you need to define smart matching column names. Once you make smart matching column names, and then when you click on detect joins, the system will identify the joins between matching columns and primary and foreign key. Once you define joins, very next step is you need to detect the cardinalities. You detect the cardinalities, and very next step you need to resolve. You need to check the loops if it is there. When loops will create, sometimes you need to satisfy multiple requirements with less number of tables. That time, fortunate or unfortunate, you need to create multiple joins. If you create multiple joins, if you have 3 tables, you have created 3 joins or more than 3 joins, that time it will form a loop. For resolving that loop, again you need to go to tools, automated detections, detect loop. It will suggest you the steps to resolve the loops. Follow that steps and resolve the loops. Once you resolve the loops, you need to make a classes and objects. Why you need to make a classes and objects? Classes and objects is basically to follow the naming conventions, business naming conventions. In the tables, you have a separate naming conventions. In the table, when you see calendar, you look up. Year is appeared as YR. Year is appeared as YR. But in the report, customer will ask us to display as YEAR. That time, what you need to do is this column you need to convert as an object. The table name you need to convert as a class. Later, in the classes and object, you can rename YR as YEAR. That time, customer in the report can see YEAR, but still the YEAR object is taking data from calendar year.YR. Customer click on YEAR, indirectly YEAR, you will take data from calendar year.YR column. That column you rename according to the end user requirement, customer requirement. That's why you need to make a classes and objects. Table name as class name, column name as object. You need to convert. Yes, once you're done, very next step, you need to define hierarchies. Where you can define hierarchies, you just need to go to tools, hierarchies. There you can make a new hierarchy. For example, if you want to give a chance for the customer to navigate from time/product, that time you need to make a hierarchy called as a time/product, and from time period you need to take a year and quarter and month, and as well as if you want to give a product class, the customer want to move from year to quarter, quarter to month, month to lines, line to category. That time you need to make a one hierarchy with the time/PROD. This time when you create a report with the year wise sales revenue, I'll show you. I created one more hierarchy here, time/PROD. Click on OK. Then you need to save, file, export, browse to Web Universes folder. Click on OK, and again click on OK. Yes, you made a hierarchy and you exported. Later in the report level, I'm just creating a report, new Web report, and universe name is same universe, eFashion universe. Now when you see, I will just create a report with year wise sales revenue. Run the query, then enable drill. I just enable the drill.
Unmuted.
So John sir, the question for you. John sir, can you hear me? John sir, can you hear me? Hello? Viswa, I'll explain, don't worry, what are context. I'll explain what is context, don't worry. John sir, can you hear me?
No.
No. Okay.
Muted.
This time, please
Unmuted.
answer my question. When I click on here, this time how many hierarchies it will buzz? When you click on here, this time how many hierarchies it will buzz?
2.
Why?
As you made 2 hierarchies on the same time period.
Exactly. When you see in the tools, hierarchies, the year is there in time period, as well as year is there in where? Time slash PROD. This time the system will get confused. It will ask us to select the desired path. Based on your selected path, the customer can navigate. Okay, in the info view, when user clicks on 2004, it will search for year